Alright, I would like to talk. I'm coming back again. It's been a while since I've done a voice memo. And one of the greatest challenges I've faced with discussing the nature of creation in the scriptures is that a few of us have come to believe a certain way through undeniable circumstances and undeniable patterns. I cannot see any other way now, and sometimes when I approach this topic, I've always gone about trying to prove it, and I don't think I need to prove it anymore, because simply I can see. And when Jesus healed the blind man, his testimony was that he could see. And he went back and people were giving him all this trouble, but he just said, I can see. I was blind, but now I can see. And so really that is the testimony, and the word of our testimony is the Logos has healed our spiritual eyes. And in Hosea, where it says, after 2 days I will revive them, and on the third I will raise them up. And how Jesus talks about, how the temple will be torn down and on the third day it will be built. And we know we're looking for that final temple. And 2 spiritual days have passed. 2,000 years has passed, and a day is as 1,000 years. And so here we are, and this temple is being built, and I can see everything is done in parables. Everything is, the world, the earth, the heavens, these were created to be containers of the spiritual truth. Everything that exists was created by the Word. The Word was in heaven with God. The Word was God. And that Word came down into the flesh and paid the price for our sins. And that Word was buried under the earth for 2 days and rose on the third and ascended back into heaven. And we are the body. And the reason why we become revived and raised up is because the Word raises us up. When you look at everything in creation and you see the scriptures are written based on all of these models that utilizes created things, which we are created things too. And he spoke through us, through all the prophets, and every time the prophets were killed, and you see how this all parallels the death of the Word, the death of Jesus Christ. And once you start to see the scriptures on a spiritual level, once you realize that everything is couching a heavenly truth, you are free. Your eyes are open. When Paul is talking to the church, and he's talking about how we must, what we must do for the widows and for the orphans, and all of these are spiritual. The widow is who has fallen from first love, who has lost her first love. That is the leadership who fell from Christ. Christ is the true husband. We've been widowed for this past 2,000 years. Our husband died. All of the people that had the early reign leaders were all martyred. Everyone who knew this truth was killed. We've become widows. And so, it's funny because these instructions, they're perfect in that for the past 2,000 years They're like a moral guideline, kind of like the commandments and the law, but not perfect on the fleshly level. You see people go around and they try and help out fleshly widows, and that's beautiful, that's great, but they don't understand that they are also this widow. And now it's time to visit the widow and to visit the orphans in their time of need. And so, with the word of our testimony, and the spirit of prophecy is the testimony of Jesus, as it says in Revelations. All of these prophets, all of these prophecies were destroyed, brought down to a fleshly level. Many books were destroyed and lost. Many of the things that the writers and the teachers of the New Testament, many of the prophecies that they were quoting from, people don't even know exist. I know that a very, very small portion of Christians even know that second Esdras or fourth Ezra even exists. And yet Jesus is quoting from it. He's saying, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, for you've killed the prophets." I think it's scribes and Pharisees. Anyway, no, woe to you, Jerusalem, for you have killed the prophets. Have I not gathered you as a hen gathers her chicks? I will leave your house desolate. I'm paraphrasing here, but this is from 2nd Esdras. This is a prophecy from a book of prophecy. Jesus being the Word. Our eyes need to be open. Our ears need to hear. Our withered hands need to be healed. And it's by the word of our testimony, which is His testimony.